Hello everyone and welcome to the last part of the 4-part series on children and eye health. This is your host Dr. Vedant, and today we'll be talking about an important new member of society. Basically, it's a monster who is befriending a lot of children from generation Z and Alpha. It is called as the myopia monster. But what the hell is myopia? Why are we talking about it? Why is it so important? And why are the kids today getting so much of spectacle power for their eyes? Well, you'll be getting the answers to all these questions. But for that, stay until the end of this video and I guarantee you'll thank me for the same. So without any further delay, let's dive in. So let us first understand what is myopia. Myopia is basically a refractive error in which the light rays from a distance do not focus at a point on the retina. Instead, they focus in front of it, and that's why everything at a distance appears blurred. Generally, in these cases, the near vision is quite fine, and that's why we also call it as nearsightedness. Now, why is myopia important? Why are we talking about it? Well, according to statistics, 4.44% of children in 1999 between the age group of 5 to 15 years suffered from myopia. This number rose to 21% in the year 2019, implying a growth rate of around 0.8 to 1% per year. With the same trend continuing, it is expected by 2050, 50% of the children will have myopia, or in other words, spectacles on their eyes. That is astonishing. It means every second child you see will have a minus power, a spectacle on their eyes. That is why it is very important that we know about this monster, talk about it, and deal it out before it gets bigger and better than us. Okay, so let us understand why myopia happens. So basically, there are only two causes of myopia. Let us explore them one by one. The first one is genetics. Now, if both the parents have myopia or a negative spectacle power, the chances of their children having myopia is 6 times more than a child with no nearsighted parents. Well, you cannot alter genetics as of today. So let's move on to the second cause which we can control and alter. The second cause we'll be talking about here is environmental factors. Basically, again, there are two environmental factors responsible for development and progression of myopia. The first one is increased digital screen time or excess near work. This is the most crucial and important factor that has played a major role in development as well as progression of myopia, especially post-COVID, because during COVID times and during lockdown, everyone moved inside their homes and closer to screens and excess near work as well. Now, what happens during near work or excess screen time is your eyeball gets a signal to grow in size, which is directly linked to increase in myopia. We have a separate video on this where I will be discussing on digital eye strain caused due to excess screen time. Watch out for the same. The second environmental factor we are discussing here is lack of outdoor activities. Now, due to lack of outdoor activities, you get less exposed to sunlight, which in turn reduces the dopamine levels in your body. Dopamine acts as a natural stop signal for the growth of eyeball. So less dopamine means less stop signal, which in turn is responsible for development as well as progression of myopia. So it is recommended that minimum 2 hours per day of outdoor activities including sports like cricket, tennis, football, cycling as well as swimming can dramatically help reduce the progression of myopia. Now, some of you might argue about the ill effects of sunlight on body. Well, for that I would suggest use UV protection glasses, use sunscreens and hats. Okay, so before we move ahead, let me talk about an important factor that might indirectly lead to myopia in children, especially in India. That is undue parental performance pressure. Well, many parents in India are quite anxious and worried about the academic performances of their children in school. Well, I believe that is equally important, but please do not force your child. Let them play out, increase their outdoor physical activities in the form of sports. This I am talking not just to prevent their eyes from this myopia, but also to ensure their overall holistic development. So please, let your child play out. Well, how do you know that your child might have myopia? He or she will hint you with these signs. Watch out for them. Number one, they would prefer sitting very close to the television. They'll not be able to see clearly from the back bench when in classroom. They might be squinting or squeezing their eyes a lot to focus. They might complain of eye strain with headache or frequent eye blinking and excessive eye rubbing. If you see any of these signs, chances are your child has befriended this myopia monster. Go consult an ophthalmologist now. Well, why is myopia so bad? There are 3 reasons to it. Number 1, it causes blurred vision for distance, which might be very irritating for children and might lead to something known as amblyopia or lazy eye. We talked about it already in part 3 of the series. The second, children do not like accepting glasses at such an early age. This can negatively impact their self-confidence and social interaction, thereby hampering their overall growth and development as well. The third and the most important is myopia causes increased risk of other eye disorders like glaucoma, cataract, retinal detachment, as well as myopic macular degeneration. Hence, it is very important to tackle out this monster and prevent it from going big on your eyes. So what are the treatment options for myopia? We'll be exploring all of them one by one shortly. Let's begin. The first and foremost is the use of spectacles. It's very simple, but make sure that you follow the following points. That is, wear the spectacles for maximum amount of duration during the day. Secondly, always make sure that the spectacle lenses are made up of polycarbonate material and not glasses to prevent undue injury to the eyes. And last but not the least, always go for good quality and good renowned company lenses for your spectacles. These are some of my recommendations. You can use contact lenses instead of spectacles, but I generally don't prefer them in children because there are issues like maintenance and hygiene, which if not taken care of, can lead to serious infections and in worst cases, vision compromise or visual loss as well. The second treatment option we are talking about here is orthokeratology or ortho-K lenses. These are special contact lenses which a child has to wear only during the night when he or she sleeps. Now, how do they act? They alter the curvature of the front surface of the eye, thereby reducing the negative power, that is myopia. But there are some challenges to it. Number 1 is adjustment issues. Number 2 is hygiene and maintenance by children. And third thing, most important of all, the effect is not permanent. It is reversible. That is, once you stop using these ortho-K lenses, your myopia will come back. So I personally do not prefer the same. The third treatment option we are talking about here is something known as Atropine. Atropine is basically a drug that comes in the form of eye drops at many concentrations. But the one used to halt the progression of myopia ranges around 0.01 to 0.05%, most commonly a concentration of 0.01%. The good thing is, many studies have proven the positive effects of atropine in halting myopia progression. Also, the side effects at such low concentration is almost negligible to zero. The fourth treatment option we are talking about here is something known as Defocus myopia control lenses. These lenses are used in spectacles, and this is the new baby in town and one of the finest innovations. So how do they work? They look something like this. The central part is responsible for a clear, crisp, distant vision, while the mid-peripheral part is responsible to create something known as myopic defocus in the eyes. This is a physics principle which in turn halts the abnormal elongation and growth of the eyeball, thereby directly reducing the myopia progression. Now, these lenses are readily available in the market under the following brands. The first are the Stellest lenses by Essilor. Second are the Mio Smart lenses by Hoya company. Third are the MyoVision Pro lenses by Carl Zeiss, Germany. Now, these lenses are equally effective, but according to studies, the best of all are the Stellest lenses, which have proven to reduce the myopia progression by about 67%. But an important point to remember is that each eye of every child responds differently to different myopia control methods. So these values are not absolute to be banked on, but they are a good guidance to go through. The only downside of myopia control lenses is their cost. Presently, it ranges in India from 15 to 25,000 per pair of glasses. Also, a child has to wear it for about 10 to 12 hours in a day, and they are not as comfortable as contact lenses when it comes to sports. But the best part about these myopia control lenses is that you get a 6 months money back guarantee, wherein if the child's power jumps by more than 0.5 in 6 months, you get a replacement free of cost. The fifth and final treatment option about myopia we are discussing is a permanent solution. It includes laser vision correction procedures like PRK, LASIK or SMILE, and also procedure like implantable collamer lens implantation. Well, for this you have to be more than 18 years of age, with stable number of your spectacles for at least more than 1 year. And also you need to qualify to undergo these procedures through various tests. We'll be discussing everything in detail in the future videos ahead about all of this. So that was all about the myopia monster. Lot of information, right? Well, if you haven't followed anything, please feel free to ask me in the comment section below. And if you found it useful, please like, share and subscribe and spread it ahead. I hope this 4-part series on children and eye health was uber useful and added a lot of knowledge and information into your account. So until next time, when we meet again in the next video, see you around.